Okay, everyone, it's time for a paddle war. We are going to compare the CRBN2 new edition to the Project 003 Epic. Do you want to see who wins? Stay tuned. All right, first, let's start with the technical. Both of these paddles come in at about 7.5 to 8 ounces. Okay, both of them have a polymer honeycomb core with a carbon face. Now, the Epic has a little bit different carbon face. It has this very cool looking weave on the carbon face that shines off the light. When the light shines off it, pretty cool. It looks a little bit different, and it generates a ton of spin. So size, they both have a 5.25 inch handle length. They both have a 4.25 handle circumference. Now, the CRBN2 has a little bit more blocky handle. So if you like more of a square handle with a little bit less pronounced bevel, this is the paddle for you. If you like a little bit more beveled handle, this one here with the Selkirk, definitely more bevel to it. You can feel the bevel is a little bit better. It's a little bit smaller feeling in the hand. The overall length, so the length on the CRBN2 is 15.75 inches, and the one on the Selkirk is 15.85 inches, so it is slightly bigger. Let's talk about sweet spot. The sweet spot on the edge of this Carbon 2 has a little bit less of a sweet spot because of the edge guard, and you get out here towards the edge, you lose a lot of power. I'll say that the Epic has a bigger sweet spot because the whole face is a sweet spot. You can hit all the way out here to the edge, and the ball will still go straight. It won't go as hard. It will be a little bit less power, but it will still go straight. Now, for power, the CRBN2 has a little bit more power. It's a little bit more head heavy. The Epic really actually comes in very head light. I actually had to add tape to this. I added lead tape on all four corners, and I added lead tape here to make this play at about 8.6 because I needed a little bit more control when I was blocking, and when I was resetting, I needed to be able to reset without the paddle would move a little bit when you hit on the edges, when you hit out of the sweet spot. So you got to kind of do a little bit of perimeter weighting there to make it, feel a little bit better, because I needed a little bit more control when I was blocking, and when I was resetting, I needed to be able to reset without the paddle would move a little bit when you hit on the edges, when you hit out of the sweet spot. So you got to kind of do a little bit of perimeter weighting there to make it, feel a little bit better. Now, for the shots that we have to hit, let's talk about third shot. Both of these work the same for third shot. Let's talk about dinking. Both of these work the same for dinking. Let's talk about resets. Both of these work the same for resets. But I would give the edge on overall control, spin, and my paddle of preference. I would be picking the Epic. Okay, now this is not because I'm sponsored by Selkirk. I do not like all of Selkirk's paddles. I just happen to like this paddle a whole lot. This one and the Invicta shape in this model is my paddle of choice, but I can pick this paddle up and play with it just as good without messing up my game. I do believe that the Epic has a little bit more spin than this. We're talking about 300 or 400 RPMs. If you look at Chris Olsen's video on spin, you can look at Pickleball Studio. I got the link to his channel down below. He does a great spin video, and then each paddle he reviews, he does a spin review and compares it to the others. The Epics and the Projects and the Power Airs all come out on top right above the CRBN. So we're talking about the two top spinny paddles in the market. Now let's talk about feel. This paddle, the CRBN2, is a little bit more muted in its feel. It feels a little bit muted. It sounds a little bit more thuddy when you hit, whereas this paddle feels a little bit more crisp coming off the face, but it sounds clean. It sounds a little bit higher pitch, a little bit cleaner. You would actually expect it to be hitting a little bit harder, like I said earlier, than it does, but it's very, very soft core, very, very soft touch paddle. So for me, if I'm going to put one in my bag and I had to play a tournament right now, the Epic would win. The price on this is $333. The price on this is $180. Both of these you can get a discount through our channel. If you look below, you can see the discount code. You can get 10% on this, and you get a gift card back on this, which is a little bit more than 10% when you spend the money on this. But I tell you what, guys, you will not go wrong with either one of these paddles. For me, I'm going with the Epic. Still undecided which paddle to buy? Click here to decide.